properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, and it has no illegal welds, and there's no debris in between the shaft of the landing gear and the actual foot of the landing gear. There's no obstructions, and my handle is secure for transport. But if I was to pull that out, I would have several gears. The first gear pushed all the way in, I would have 40 turns to 1 inch. If I pulled it out, it would be 4 turns to 1 inch.
A little bit of detail there that she wouldn't care about that. Just the defect parts. Good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's more operational.
My DOT tape all the way down the side of the trailer, top mount secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware. It's continuous, it's not broken into strips or anything. My side marker is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, and it's not burned out. And as I previously said, all the tires will be the same as my first duels. I'm walking down the trailer, looking at each section of the frame, each section of the cross beams, and they're not cracked, bent, or broken, have no missing or loose hardware, and have no illegal welds. My ABS light is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, and it's not burned out. My side marker is properly mounted, secured.
Wait, just skip the lights. Skip the lights.
Skip the lights. Oh, yeah.
Until you turn them on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing good.
My mud flap
Yep.
is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware. It's not frayed or cut or dragging anyway on the ground. My rear impact guard has all the DOT tape necessary. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, no illegal welds. My mud flap on my right side is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware. It's not cut or frayed or dragging on the ground in any way, causing obstruction. And now, with the exception of the lights, I'm done with this side, the left side of the vehicle, right?
Correct. But then the instructions will be, please continue to inspect, but only tell me what's unique on this side, or if you missed it on the other side. So you're going to continue to inspect, but not mention defects until you get to anything that you've not inspected.
Okay. I'm still inspecting everything that I said on the left side of the vehicle. On this side, I'm just going
Well,
to
let's back up. I would start right back here. I'm checking the tires, I'm checking the suspension, I'm checking the brakes, I'm checking the frame, I'm checking the tires, I'm checking the suspension, I'm checking the brake, I'm checking the frame and cross members. Got to mention the cross members. I'm checking the landing gear, the tire, suspension, brakes, the frame on this side, fuel tank, door, mirrors, and the front tire, suspension, brakes. So why don't you do that?
I'm looking at my tires, the frame and cross beams of the trailer, my DOT tape going along the side of the trailer, my chicken lights, or technically service lights on the side of the trailer, and I'm looking up and I'm doing that for everything, making sure the airbag on this side's the same as it is on the other side, my mud flaps and everything, all of my tires as I've previously stated. My side marker is the same as the other side. My landing gear, there's not a handle on this side, but I'm still looking to make sure everything's okay from the other side. Everything on this side of the fifth wheel, the mud flap, the rear tractor tires. I'm just walking slowly, looking for any defects, looking between the duals as always. And my splash guard is the same on the other side as I have stated, along with my fuel tank.
Also mention the suspension and brakes. So
Oh, yeah, my suspension and brakes.
yeah, for each axle, I'm inspecting the tires, I'm inspecting the suspension, I'm inspecting the brakes. So tire, suspension, brakes.
For each tire, I'm inspecting the tire itself, the suspension, and the brakes. As I've stated, for all my previous tires, I would do it the same as I did my first one, with the exception of the things that are different in the rear of the tractor trailer. My splash guard is the same as the other side. I'm looking at my open frame, looking for the defects that I stated on the other side, along with my fuel tank and my stairs and my door and my mirrors. Now I'm coming to my exhaust. I'm going to walk up a little bit to see if there's any excessive smog, because my exhaust should have all exhaust wrap, no leaks. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. And I'm going to follow the entire path of the exhaust to see if there's excess like black smog all the way up, and there should be no pinhole leaks for the entirety of the exhaust. And the corrosion up there is just due from excessive use of the fumes coming down. It's not anything wrong with the system. And I would report that to maintenance. Now coming up to the right side of the engine, my coolant is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, and it's in between the max and add. All the lines coming from my coolant are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, have no missing or loose hardware, and there's no dry rot or leaks that I can see or hear. I'm gonna start looking at my belts. They're properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, have no missing or loose hardware, and no frays or cuts, and there should be 3/4 inches of give per 1 foot of span. And it seems to give that because this is a span that is about 1 foot. My radiator is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware. There's no leaks that I can see. And my top radiator hose is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, and no leaks that I can see or hear. My bottom radiator hose is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, and no leaks that I can see or hear. My alternator is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, no bare electrical wire, no illegal electrical tape, and it is belt driven because the belt is right here driving. My water pump is right here.
Look at the bottom pulley, bottom pulley.
Bottom pulley. Oh,
Underneath the alternator, the
Yep.
bottom, there's a bottom pulley, that's where the water pump would be.
okay. My water pump is down here on the bottom pulley of the belt system. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware that I can see, and there's no leaks that I can see or hear, and it is actually belt driven because it is on the bottom pulley of the belt. And that's about it, because she doesn't want us to talk about the turbo.
Correct.
She doesn't want us to talk about this. I already explained everything I need to that way. Just give you a minute to think and
That's good, good.
Make sure I've got everything.
Good.
My dipstick, because on most vehicles it's on the other side, but on this side it's on the right side. I'd pull out the dipstick, wipe it off, put it back in to make sure that it was at the proper level, and this is just the filling cap for the oil if I need to add, but she's not going to make me do that, so I don't need to.
Sure.
And I'm just going to think again in case I forget, because things come to you.
Good.
And I'm just going to look, and I think that's about it.
Are you sure you're done?
Yes.
What about the shroud?
Shroud. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she just wants us to talk about the shroud, but not the fan blades, because that makes
Good.
a lot of sense. My shroud is...
No, you didn't have to talk about that.
She doesn't want us to talk about the fan blades. But I usually did the fan blades and
Do
the
we
thing
have to talk
together.
about the radiator? Oh. Everybody, I
Well,
had 2
check-
people tell me today that we didn't have to talk about
Check chapter 11. You know, I mean, the shroud, as far as I know, the shroud was not mentioned that it was off limits, so.
fan and shroud.
No, the fan was a no-no,
The
But-
shroud is just this.
but the shroud, yeah, the shroud,
People call it a fan apron too, right?
oh, okay, yeah.
My
Makes sense.
My fan apron is prop mount secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, has no missing or loose hardware, and there's no indication that the fan blades are actually cutting into the apron that are causing damage. And now I'm done. Okay.
Okay. Did you miss anything else?
I missed.
The one thing I was wondering, are we mentioning that the deck boards and everything are properly secured and everything when we walk around that? At any time, I wasn't paying attention to know it when you walk
No, I
around
didn't.
there.
That's something I don't
Because
know yet.
usually, you know, they want to know that your deck
Right.
is properly fastened down, that there's no
Oh, yeah.
loose boards or any,
Sure. Oh, the
anything like
surface,
that
yeah.
on there.